So we want to move from here to here, correct? Very quick crash course in Saturn's clearing decree of you can leave now. Just for yourselves, just say expectations, you can leave now. Say it just 5 times and tell me if you're sensing something. Just expectations, you can leave now. 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 Expectations, you can leave now.
Okay, and immediately Vas says expansion around me and my feet. Love it.
Super.
And coolness on my face.
Okay. How's everybody? Can you feel something is taking place, like something's shifting immediately? Stress, you can leave now. Just say it 5 times. Stress, you can leave now. 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 Disharmonious. Sorry, go ahead now.
Sorry. Anil said cool in the head. Kulpreet also said coolness in breathing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mind relaxed. And Neelu Agarwal says feeling something in the heart and head. Manisha says my heart chakra opening up, feeling lighter. Vanita says lighter. Vas says amen. Yawning shifts. Monica Dem says feeling cool. As she says, okay, at least 3 people have said feeling cool.
Nice. Good. So something has calmed down in the body. It's not hot and driving you crazy anymore, because heat in the body means you got to move, you got to do things, you got to get frantic. You can't take a break, you can't sit down, you can't rest. Liver and gallbladder are not doing too well when there's a lot of this heat in the body. So when there's coolness in the body, clarity shows up. We can sit down, we can stay calm, we can sleep better. So disharmonious relationships, you can leave now. 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 Just say that, see how it makes you feel. The moment you're feeling a little better, you remember what I said about entrainment? Everybody else will respond. Everybody else will start coming into your resonance. As you practice being here, because obviously you cannot go to the gym just once. So as you practice being here, everybody else also starts getting used to the resonance of being there. Shruti didn't work on her child's anxiety. Shruti only worked on her own stress. It's the concept of holding space. Now, the concept of holding space means, so some time back, I carried this heavy bucket and I had this funny feeling over here, this funny feeling in my shoulder. So if I tell you, listen, I've got this funny feeling in my shoulder, you'll say, well, what happened? What did you do? And I'll say, I picked up a heavy bucket, correct? So you'll say, you picked up that heavy bucket, now this will happen, right? In the work that we do, in the understanding of how energy works, I had to pick up the bucket so that I knew about this funny feeling. That if I hadn't picked up this bucket, this would not have come into my awareness. So when other people show up in our lives, they show up in our lives for a certain purpose. Like you could have a most obnoxious elder brother. He leaves his socks all over the place. He doesn't pick up after himself. And yet he's so charming when he meets your friends. And your friends are like, he's so cute, he's so cool. And you're like, right? Different people are different with different people. Therefore, what is going on in your relationship? The concept of holding space. And I wanted to have something to show you the holding space. Let me show you this. Holding space means that depending on who a certain person is, and therefore bringing out a certain reaction in me. Like I can't bear to talk to not me, I don't have a mother-in-law. And when I did, she was just amazing. But I can't bear to talk to my mother-in-law. She's just so annoying. She just goes on and on and on. I am now holding space for my mother to be, for my mother-in-law to be annoying and go on and on and on. Because remember, she's going to be different with somebody else. Some more people also, she will be annoying and she'll just go on and on. And that's when you'll have a connection, because you meet somebody and you'll say, my God. She says, yeah, she just doesn't stop talking. And then bonding, right? Because entrainment has completely taken place. You're speaking the same language. But in the meantime, this concept of holding space means that whether it is your child who's not studying, whether it is your maid who's not working properly, whether it is your driver giving you grief, whether it is your husband, whether it is your parents, whether it is your sister, you are holding space for something going on there. Right? Because invariably, like for example, S came and she said, I just want to make peace with this, Nidhu, because I know there's nothing I can do. Because you can't change anybody, can you? And she was hoping I would say you can. And I said, no, you can't change anybody. And she said, whatever, my husband walks into any room, light, fan, he just leaves it on all the time. Like I'm just walking around behind him like a electrical servant. Like I'm just switching off the lights and fans wherever he's going. And if I have gone to work or if I'm doing something else and I come back, invariably, whole house, all lights and fans are like everywhere. And I'm fed up, Nidhu, I'm fed up. Just tell me how to make peace with this, because I've told him, we fought, I know, what can you do? Nobody changes. Like, familiar? Okay. I told her the concept of holding place and space in less than 24 hours. And she sent a text. Okay. In less than 24 hours, husband was walking out of the room, just put his head back in, switched off the light and fan.
Amazing.
And she said, her text said, Nidhu, I was so shocked. I just stood there paralyzed. And then he turned around and looked at me like, what? As though he does this all the time. Like this is perfectly normal for him to be switching off the lights and fans. When you work on this, meaning when you have a trigger with somebody, you are holding place for them to be a certain way. So let us say that there is somebody in your life who's just getting your goat, like who's just driving you nuts. Think of what that trigger is. They are so controlling. They never listen. He's so disobedient. He's so mischievous. He doesn't sit down and study. It's just so frustrating. Padhega nahi to badhega kaise? Pappu ka number ka fir kab aayega? Like what it's doing to you is what is holding the behavior. Everybody's clear? So if you move this out of the way, that behavior cannot be held. Because as human beings, you can only hold when somebody else is holding with you. So if you move this away, they also collapse. So think of somebody who's bothering you a lot. And how do they bother you? They don't do this, they don't do that. How do they bother you? What do they bring up in you? They bring up fear, they bring up anger, they bring up irritation, they bring up frustration.
Nidhu, in fact, Ramchandra's asked, is holding space equal to judgment?
Not at all. Holding space. So first of all, you're not conscious that you're holding space. Judgment is usually very active because judgment is a thought. It is a belief system. I know better. Government is like this. My mother's like this. Women are like that. So it's you're usually aware of the thought. Holding space, I'm explaining an energetic concept for you. And by the way, the second mirror is the mirror of my judgments, which we will do tomorrow. And how that holding space can hold the space for judgments, their judgments as well as my judgments. But the understanding of holding space is also a very important understanding in how you are CEO. Because now you are not telling your team members to say, please fire them or please hire new people or please speak to them. They don't know how to do this. You are being the CEO. I am not going to hold space for this behavior. And what is that space? The space is the trigger you have. So let us say that, Nidhu, anything somebody's mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are one or two things that have come up. Pragya has asked, is it only applicable for relationships or also for health or money or our own behaviors?
Absolutely.
Holding space.
Absolutely. One of the 11 mirrors is the mirror of my body, the mirror of my bank balance, which is the mirror of money. There are mirrors.
Right.
They're all, I added these few because the 7 mirrors of Essenes didn't have, for example, the mirror of money or the mirror of the body. So we will do that. The mirror of the past, the mirror of perfections. How many of us driven by the desire for perfection? What is in this mirror of perfection? What is it really revealing to you? The mirror of the dark night of the soul. It's a mirror. So times of your life, people in that time, and definitely number one, the mirror of me, my subconscious, my unconscious, the mirror of my judgments is showing in how you are triggered. What you are triggered in is what you are holding place and space for.
Right.
So take a look, and whatever you are, like he's stressing me out so much, you can leave now. Say it 10 times. He's stressing me out so much, you can leave now. He's stressing me out so much, you can leave now. I'm just changing the sentence. She doesn't listen to me, you can leave now. She doesn't listen to me, you can leave now. So worried he doesn't study, you can leave now. Whatever is your reaction or your trigger, just say you can leave now 10 times to that.
Right. So Swati has asked, Nidhu has mentioned that my daughters, they have sibling rivalry. Sometimes I control it, but sometimes my anger comes out.
Yeah.
Swati has asked, so if my dad and brother don't get along, am I holding some space for it to happen?
If you have a trigger, if you're zen, if you're chill, if it doesn't bother you, then you are not holding space. Then you're allowing it to happen. You are, I am willing, with allowance, in allowance, with ease, in ease. It is taking place in front of you, but you are not affected. If you are affected by this, it bothers you, it keeps you up at night, then number one, we are taking a look at 1-star, 2-star relationships. We definitely want to work on that. And second, because it's a trigger, it's a mirror. The mirror we will take a look at tomorrow. Today, I want you all to experience the changes that begin when you start doing this.